Today I have the honor of interviewing Mondo Slade, a prolific artist with over 7 albums and multiple singles available on digital streaming platforms. Mondo Slade just dropped a new album a few months ago called Master Speaks 2. In addition to his music, he has incredible videos that allow the visual aspect of his artistry to come to life. We're gonna go ahead and bring in Mondo Slade. Joining the Cristopolis show. It's an honor to have you on. I spent the day listening to your impressive catalog, 7 albums, numerous singles, an incredible sound, dope lyrics. So what I always love to do is, whenever I'm interviewing an artist, is to allow them to take us on their creative journey. You know, how did you fall in love with hip hop music? Is there a musical background in your family? You know, work our way up, you know, to this masterpiece that you just dropped in April, Master Speaks 2. So if you could give us some background on how you started getting involved with music.
Yeah, so boom, I first got involved, let me see, all the way back in the day. So my mom, she's like a world-class piano player, you know what I mean? So she always had music playing in the crib, you know what I mean? And my father, he was a poet, so he wrote a lot of poetry, did a lot of slam poetry, stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I kind of like, I'm like the mixture of the two, like just poetry and music slashed together, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm like a hip hop baby, you know what I'm saying? I was born in the 80s and shit, so I was born back, you know, I had the rope chains, the raccoon hats and shit with the gazelles went up.
The Run DMC raccoon hat.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I've been on hip hop since, you know, I can remember, since the 80s, man, since I was a kid. So, you know, it's just a natural progression, you know what I'm saying? And you know how we living in the inner city and all of that, man. Hip hop is just a part of life, man. Just, you know, it's up in you, it's in your DNA. So, you know, that's basically how, you know, it's just in you. You know what I mean? But
do you play any instruments?
I played an instrument when I was in high school. I played in the band in high school. I played the baritone. Yeah, the baritone horn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I played high school, and then like my mans who was my producers, King Rim and Prime Minister, we all went to the same high school. We was all in the band together. You know what I mean? We've been homeboys for 20 some years. So we all played music. We did music theory. We did all of that together. You know what I mean? Word.
Because one of the things that I mentioned to you, like, you know, when we did like the pre-talk, is how dope and I mentioned it in the intro video also. One of the things in listening through your whole discography that really stood out to me, and it, you know, this is subjective, right? This is like my taste, but there were no skips. Your selection, your taste in music, for me, feels like it's really special. Like you have a special ear for picking out that's dope, I'm gonna get on this, I'm gonna get on that. Because MCs get lots of beats. It used to be it was hard to get beats. Now there's thousands of beats on beat sites, right? And you're working closely with, and I didn't know this backstory. You're working closely with your brothers. These are your brothers since high school. And y'all have built something together, and you have a musical background in your family. You have musical training that you had when you were younger, and I can hear all that. I can hear the love of music in your catalog, because it goes deep. It's not like one hot single that you made a dope video for, which you have a lot of. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of it, but it's the whole catalog. I recommend everybody to go listen to your catalog, because it is an impressive catalog of not only lyrically but sonically. It's dope. It's dope, my bro. Yeah, so thank you for that backstory on the connection. The other thing that I find very interesting about your story is that I'm originally from DC, and DC has like a identity complex. Like it's not all the way New York, it's not all the way South, it's a little Maryland, it's a little Virginia, right? And Ohio and Cleveland's got a vibe like that, where you got some East Coast influence, you got some Midwest influence, you got West Coast influence, down South influence. But you grew up in Cleveland, but then you moved to Atlanta, but you got strong ties to New York. Can you talk to us about how that influenced your sound and your artistry as a whole?
well, I guess, you know, being younger, I just gravitated more towards the, I guess, for lack of a better term, like the East Coast hip hop. You know what I mean? Um, so I guess it just started there. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it just natural. But I mean, yeah, we got different flavors and all of that. So it's kind of like how you say, like for example, like Bone is from Cleveland, and
Yeah.
you know, that's two different opposite type of, you know, sounds right there. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like, you know, we kind of got the best of, you know, like just kind of like DC. You know, I kind of got a little
Yeah.
splash of everything. So you know, it kind of gave me a little bit of, you know, it kind of broadened my range a little bit. You know what I'm saying? At least for me, I think it does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of helps me with that. Word.
And when you moved to Atlanta,
Hmm.
did that impact, you know, kind of, because see, Atlanta blew up, right?
Right, right.
But
Well, I
Atlanta didn't
mean,
have, you know, they had Jermaine Dupri for like a long time. You know what I'm saying? But
right,
they
right,
didn't pop off the way they did till later, right? And I think you
right.
were already living in Atlanta when it really started to pop off and become like,
Yeah, yeah,
in a lot of ways, like the new Mecca, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
What was
Like,
that
well,
like?
like for me, it's different because like I'm a little different because like my father's well, my father's side of the family from Atlanta, so I've been coming down here since the '80s, since a little kid. You know what I mean? So I've always been in Atlanta from all the way from the Freaknik days to up until now. You know,
Right,
so
you remember the Freaknik days.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So I've been in Atlanta for as long as I can remember. It's like my second home, honestly, from Cleveland. But I don't really think it. Well, I don't know. It might have played a little part in my sound. You know what I'm saying? Just being, you know, just around in the South. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a little bit. Um, like I said again, like just a broader range. You know what I'm saying? Different styles of rap that you kind of entwine with. There was a lot of people that I was listening to down here from that was like, you know, artists of Atlanta that people had never heard of up in Ohio, and I was like, yo, these cats is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, you know, I definitely took a little bit from, you know, down here and all of that.
yeah,
Um, as far as New York, it's just like my sound is just everybody just thinks I'm from New York. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And then, you know, I got peoples that stay in New York, so I'm always up in New York all the time. So
yeah.
that's kind of how I got the bridge up there. And then my man Rem lives up in New York. He resides up there, so
Oh,
I'm always up there checking him.
oh,
Yeah, word.
that's dope. That's like, listen, I'm coming for the weekend.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Shit like that. You know, he up there holding us down, and then Prime is in Vegas, so I skip the, you know, them three spots. I go to New York, Atlanta, Vegas all the time, recording, doing music, just taking in sounds and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I kind of balance it out. You know what I
You
mean?
got like the main spots covered.
But
That's Vegas, New York, and Atlanta. You're good.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I gotta go out shoot Vegas so I can get a little West Coast ear, see what they're doing over there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
New
yeah.
York, give me a look. You know what I'm saying?
That's beautiful,
Right.
man. That's beautiful. So talk to us about like when you first start recording, you know, like your early work, when you
Mm-hmm.
like start getting into the studio, who was that with? I know that you've got some work with Sid Vicious also, that early Cloak and Dagger work, you know what I mean? So talk to us
Yeah.
about like the early recordings, because what if people were to go on now and they go Mondo Slade, right, and they look up your discography, they're gonna find work, you know, from just a few months ago all the way back to like 2015. But there's a
Mm-hmm.
body of work before that, right? So give some
Mm-hmm.
people some background on the early work.
I guess the early work started out like with my man, like you said, Sid Vicious. Me and him, we had a mutual friend between me and him. And like I've been down here in Atlanta for years, man, for like 20 years. So he was one of the first cats I met down here, and he was like full throttle rhyming. He was rhyming. I was just kind of like, you know, just starting and all of that, but he was dope. And we used to just, you know, it was kind of like, you know, just at the crib, just a hobby. You know, we'd be at the crib just recording and just doing mad different songs, just some fun stuff between the fellas. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We ain't really get serious with it till years later, and just trying to put it out there and all of that. But yeah, it started a long time ago. We started back in the Fruity Loop days. You know what I mean? When you're on the computer doing the Fruity Loops and Cubase and all that. So yeah, that was back around like the MySpace era. So we was rhyming around back
yeah.
then.
I
Yeah,
know
yeah, but
MySpace. Yeah,
yeah.
that people don't understand how dope MySpace was, man, and
Oh,
how for me that's when the internet really started because internet used to
yeah,
be
yeah,
email and looking something up.
yeah.
MySpace
Exactly.
connected it all, right?
Exactly, exactly. We was kind of pop. That was like our first little taste of, you know, getting followers and people kind of listening to the music. It was like, oh, that was dope. It was dope.
Yeah,
And then we like and then we cracked the page crashed and we lost our MySpace page and we got wiped out. But yeah, that was how it started. It started with just just us going back and forth rapping. You know what I mean? And then years later, I was just like, all right, let's turn it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Are the Cloak and Dagger, the work with Sid Vicious, is that available on Spotify?
I don't think it is. It was, but then for some reason it got pulled down.
Yeah,
And I don't know why we ain't put it back. I'm about to. We was already just talking about this like a week or so
yeah,
ago. We gonna re-release it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I know some little discrepancies. It's a couple groups out there with the name now. They got the Cloak and
Right.
Dagger name and all of that now. So
Yeah,
we might have to change a few things up.
yeah,
But yeah, we still tight. That's still my man. He was on I just had him on my last joint
yeah.
featuring on I had him on Shoots and Ladders. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we still doing new music. He's gonna be on my next joint coming out. So yeah,
That's
we
dope.
still the Cloak and Dagger. We might change the name up, but we gonna definitely put some more
Yeah.
heat out there.
Well, and the other
Yeah,
thing is like Sid Vicious became famous off of battle rap, right? And
yeah,
Mondo
yeah,
Slade is killing it now. You're killing it now. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
your artistry, visually, everything looks so dope. I
Mhm.
mean, Mondo Slade and Sid Vicious might be the way to go. Just you know what I'm saying? Just like
Mhm.
that. That way it shows up immediately too. I don't know, man. But that being said, I found some YouTube stuff and that needs to be out there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, word. Definitely, definitely. I totally agree. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I ain't gonna front say Vicious, he be mad busy all the time. So I be trying to like, yo, yeah, I be trying to get a
Yeah.
hold of him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he mad busy. We be trying to nail shit down though. You know what I'm
That's
saying? We
dope.
gonna get something going together. But yeah, we definitely I'll say for about like a 3 year span when we was doing the Cloak and Dagger series, we was outside every
Yeah.
day. We was doing shows together. We did a lot of stuff together. So, that's my man right there. We always gonna do something. So
That's dope.
we definitely gonna start.
That's dope.
Mhm.
Uh, I want to, we've been talking about your records. You've got 7 albums out. I'm going to name off some of them, right? Most recent one you dropped, Master Speech 2, right? Shoots and Ladders that you talked about.
Mhm.
Master Speech, the first one. The Revenge of the Slade. These are the more recent ones, right? And all your whole discography under Mondo Slade is available on the digital streaming platforms. I wanted to ask you some questions though. Master Speech 2 and Master Speech, right? The album covers, right? Like paying respect to one of the greats,
Right.
right? To Ghostface. Can you talk to us
Exactly.
about the album covers and all that?
I mean, I just wanted something that was kind of fly, that kind of said something, that made a statement. And
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of times I really personally don't hear it a lot of times, but a lot of people they be comparing me to them, like my styles and stuff. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Well, I love the Wu. That's like my favorite rap group
yeah,
of all time. But maybe that's you can hear it bleeding out sometime. But people always compared it to, so I was like, you know what, let me do something, pay a little homage. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I did it. I kind of did it in reverse. I tried to make it reverse. So what I'm saying, his Supreme Clientele, I did for my first joint,
Yeah.
and then I'm saying I did the man on the second one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's fly. It's a dope idea. I really love the way y'all remade the Iron Man
Oh
with
yeah.
that was really really dope. You know what I'm saying? Salute to
Word.
Coach the God. Thank you so much for connecting us.
Word.
And so
And shouts to Salvatore, my man who painted that, man. That was all hand painted watercolor right there. That was dope.
I wanted to ask you about that because it looks super dope, and I was wondering how they. So it was hand painted.
Yeah, that was real right there. That's hand painted. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
He doing my next one that's coming out soon, man. It's hand painted. It's wave fire. It's killing the Master Speech one. So be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be crazy.
so yeah, so you mentioned the new work. Let's spend some time there. What's the name of the new project?
I got a joint coming out soon called "Long Live the Slade," man. It's hype. It's gonna be a nice follow up to the Master Speech too.
Yeah,
More of what you can expect from me, man. It's original rhymes, crazy beats. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Raw things. You know what I mean? Gonna have some nice videos coming along with it. So just another banging installment that we trying to put down. I might even just tease people, man. I'm not sure when I want to release it. I might release it towards the end of
yeah,
the summer, but I'm also teasing. I'm also tempted to drop another joint, man. I got like another EP in the tuck, man. I might just let go just called In the Meanwhile, you know what I mean? And that's just, just to hold people down in between, major releases and stuff. But yeah, I got a nice little EP that's crazy, man. A couple features on there. You know what I'm saying? People might like that I don't want to get.
Man. All right, so I want to, because that's a lot of information right there. I want to make sure we give each of those two projects their proper respect. So for Long Live the Slave, production, is that by King Rem?
Well, King Rum, he mostly does all my stuff, man. He does like 75% of my stuff, man. But I got a few different cats on there. I got King Rum, I got Prime on there. Think I got M Germ on there. Who else? I got Wino Willie on there. So, I got a couple heavy hitters. Cat named Sammy, man, from the UK. That's crazy. But yeah, for the most part, Rem kind of always steers the ship to the most, to the most. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Y'all are like Guru and Premier, right? Or like RZA and Ghost and Ray. And you sound really like, I love his production. I love the production on your albums. So you selecting them, and then whoever's doing it, and if he's doing 75% of it, that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? So is there a meaning behind Long Live the Slave?
Nah, just forever live the slave. You know what I'm saying? Like, rhyme's gonna stay forever. You know what I'm saying? Just long live. I ain't wanted to come off as a double meaning, like, something negative, like I'm passing away or some shit like that. It's nothing like that. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like it's got a medieval theme to it. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of got the we got the Dungeons and Dragons, the swords, the knights, and all of that out. So it's kind of like a long live the slave, like a declaration to the king or to the knights. Man. So it's something like that.
Dope, man. That's dope.
Or and then when you see the artwork, you're gonna feel me.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. And you've been really prolific, man. Since like 2020, you amped it all the way up. You said we ain't messing around no more. We're dropping multiple projects every year, multiple visuals every year, amazing collaborations, And then you hinted at an EP that you may be dropping in the meanwhile. About how many tracks on that, if you could share?
We ain't fully decided, but we got about like 7 and 9 that we thinking about doing. It's pretty much almost done though. So I'm juggling between like 9 joints. You know what I mean? Something that's something sturdy, but not too heavy. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's dope, man. That's dope. I wanted to ask you about you're an artist, like, completely, right? I talked about your musical ear. Lyrically, I think that sometimes maybe some of the comparisons to Ghost may be the way you describe things. And in your intro video, the way I described it is you're gritty yet cinematic in the way that you describe things. And I meant that from the heart. When I sit back and I listen to your lyrics, you use a lot of words that are adjectives. They give you a feeling of where you're at. You put things together in a way that's uncommon. And that might be some of the comparison of whenever people say that, because Ghost does that. He describes things in a certain way that is kind of cinematic. But your videos are incredible also. And you've done a lot of work with Lewis Cole, right? You've done work with other directors, but a lot of work with Lewis Cole on your video work. Talk to us about that, about when you work on a video, how much you participate in that. Do you have, do you come to the director with your own ideas? Do you have a tight relationship with him and he's just like, let's do it like this? Because you have a large catalog of video work.
Yeah. First off, Lewis, that's my man. That's Illuminati Lou right there. That's my man. I like we be calling ourselves the Hughes brothers. We do a lot of filming together. So whenever we do videos, it's like 50%. Well, I ain't gonna say 50-50. A lot of times I might come with the idea and he was like, all right, boom, let me, and he'll throw his little sauce on it to expound on it. We'll throw flavors back and forth, and then we'll create, the idea. He's like the most illest, cat that I know that's on the camera that with the technology. You know what I mean? He knows he's abreast with all the new stuff, all the flyers, new everything. But yeah, when it comes to doing videos, he my first go-to. It's between him and my man Paul Dwayne. That's like my squad right there. So we do everything pretty much together. I do all my recording at Lou's crib too. All my booth is over at his crib. You know what I'm saying? So that's to show you how tight we are. Like all my creative stuff usually it takes place around around where he's at somewhat. But yeah, we always combine on the videos. Every blue moon he might just have an idea and I let him run with it and I do it. But for the most part, it's mostly all me. I come with the theme or come with the idea, and then he'll add on to make it just bigger than what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, you're one of the things I observed from your discography, from your videos, from the whole vibe, your lyrics, is you're in the movies and TV. You're like a movie buff, and I could you got a song called Pulp Fiction, you got a song called Ron O'Neal, you got a song called Golden Gun, you got a joint called TV Land. You know what I'm saying? And it comes out, when you unpack it and you actually look at your discography, I'm like, man, this dude's deep. Because it's knowledge, too. Like, not everybody's going to know who Ron O'Neal is or what you're talking about, it being Superfly. All of the things you mentioned in TV Land, you got to know about what you're talking about to understand My Three Sons. I went and got my 3 guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand, you got to have this. You got to be somebody who loves movies, and I could see that knowledge and that artistry coming through in your visuals. The one that y'all did called The Shining out in the Dakotas. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that. I mean, the work is spectacular. Talk to us a little bit about the movie influence on you as a person and how that comes into your music.
I ain't gonna front you. When you just said that, I ain't even realize I was doing that. Like, like, oh shit! Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I like movies, but I'm like the worst movie dude. Like, I'll watch a movie and I'll watch a movie with you, man. And then the next day you like, yo, what happened? I'm like, I don't even remember. I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I'm a classic movie buff. Like, I like all the good joints, the classics and all of that.
Yeah.
But like you could play like 3 notes to a song over the phone, and I could remember that for weeks. But I could watch a 2.5-hour movie and just be like, yeah, I gotta watch that again. I can't even remember that. So that's kind of like I didn't even know I was really doing that. You know what I mean? Just to keep it real, I didn't even know.
No, I love that. I love that. But it's dope, and it comes out. I love having movies on all the time. I have them on in the background. I love the ideas. You know what I'm saying? And I love, and it's one of the things I liked about TV Land and the video for TV Land, which is super dope and entertaining, is I love watching stuff like, from back in the day, 80s, 90s, 60s, 70s, you know what I mean? And the slang they used to use, the way people used to treat each other, the things they used to say in movies, just gender roles in general. I mean, all that stuff is technology, what they used to think the future would look like, cool, fly shit that is like, yo, that's dope piece of furniture. You can't even find that anymore. All that. I'm in love with all that. So, and it's really cool to see that like in TV Land, which is dope. I recommend anybody watching this, go look up Mondo Slade TV Land. It is a really amazing concept that y'all did. Did you come up with that?
Did I come up? Yo, I ain't gonna. Yo, we did. Okay, so what happened was, you might not have ever seen it. I think it's on my page. It's posted on the page. I did the Martin Luther King speech one time. It was like a promo. I don't know if you checked that.
Martin Luther Slade. I saw it.
Martin Luther Slade. So I did this. So that was the first time I tried that. So I was my man Lou, and it was his idea. He was like, "Yo, you got the joint called Master Speech about to come out. It'd be funny if you did the." And I was like, "Yo, how could I do that?" He was like, "You know what? I think I could do that if you did the green screen, and I could cut you up." I'm like, all right, let's try it. So we did that in the crib. I just real quick, just sitting around playing around, and it came out so crazy, and everybody loved it.
Yeah.
So when it came time to do this video, he kind of was like, "Yo, we should do like I did with the." I'm like, "Yo, you think we could do it?" He's like, "Yo, we could do it the same way." So we just did just different little clips, just real quick. It only took like maybe 30 minutes. We just did little clips in a little green screen in the crib. Just that, yeah. And my man Lou, he's so dangerous, man. He carved everything out. He put up the flam on everything, and it just came out crazy. It's like one of the illest videos. Everybody always talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
It was so dope. And the other thing about it, because part of it is the technical aspect, but the other part is the taste of where to place you in the different. Like you got one where you're sitting at the table, right? You got the other where you're like, you know what I mean? Like you just love the position in every scene.
Now I had
Um,
to find the clips myself though. I ain't gonna lie. He'll come over. He's like, ah, now it's on you to find the clips. So I had to go surf and find all these different clips. I had to watch mad hours of old TV land
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
And I kind of picked out the clips. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I think I can fit right here. And I can fit right in there. So then he
dope.
made it happen. Like, all right, we get you in there. Boom, boom. So
Yeah,
yeah, we all collaborate. We splash it together. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's,
No, that's super dope, man. And it's you did a great job. The video came out awesome,
yeah, yeah,
And then you have
yeah.
another video that pays homage to a movie, which is Pulp Fiction, right? And that one you kind of do like almost like a one-to-one with certain scenes, right?
Right, right,
Splatter in the car and all that stuff.
right.
Talk to us about that song.
Oh man, that's like one of the most popular songs off the Master Speech. Not. Oh yeah, what was that? No, that was on Shoots and Ladders. My bad. That's one of the most popular songs over that. Me and my man Kyle Lucas, we just came up with the. He came up with the title for the song, and he was like, "Oh, it's like Pulp Fiction. Like I was just watching the movie. It's kind of like Jules and Vincent." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay, that'd be dope." And we did the song, and the song was just a smash. And I was like, yo, we should just do the video. And we just came up with this. I kicked it to Lou. We kind of went back and forth with some different ideas. And he was like, yo, I can pull it off. We can pull it off. All we got to do is do this, do this. And yo, we did it. You know what I mean? It took us like a couple days to
yeah,
film and to get everything right. But yeah, it came out real good though.
yeah,
Everybody, I just wanted to, to make sure that people knew what I was doing. Like if you could relate to the scenes, like, oh, that's the one scene from the, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
if I could pull that off, then it was a good
yeah.
video. So,
And you did, and
yeah.
that movie's a good movie too because it's got such iconic scenes.
Sure.
You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
exactly,
And you could dress a
exactly.
certain way, and you kind of pretty quickly know, like, oh, they're doing
Yeah,
Pulp Fiction,
yeah,
right? Because of the,
yeah,
the black jackets and everything. Did y'all shoot that in Atlanta?
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
That's dope.
We shot that down here.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're talking about movies, this is probably like a good moment to talk about it because you have such an original name.
Mm-hmm.
The story of the name and where that came from.
Well, like you kind of hinted on it, the movies. You know what I'm saying? So, it come from if people don't know, it come from a movie, a '70s flick that Bill Cosby, Sidney Poitier, was a Let's Do It Again. So, the character in the movie was Mondo Slade with a G, Mongo. And to me, I felt like Mondo got a better ring to it.
Yeah.
It fit me a little better. You know what I'm saying? Plus, it ain't no copyrights involved
Yeah,
with that. So, so
absolutely. No, it's your intellectual property.
exactly, exactly. So, but it kind of fit the aesthetic that I was going for. Like if you know anything about the movie, they created this character, Mondo Slade or Mongo Slade, to try to swindle out two different gangsters out of their money on bets, on gambling bets. You know what I mean? So they created a fictional gangster, so to say, and he put the play down, he put the wham down, and they got away with the money at the end. So it's a
Yeah.
spinoff.
Wow. Have you ever heard of Mondo films, Mondo movies? It's spelled the
Um,
same way. They're like from the
not,
60s. It was almost like a
not,
sub-genre of a sub-genre, right? So
oh,
like,
I'm
and
not,
see, I'm a movie nerd, right? So like exploitation films, just in general, right? Not just black exploitation, but just exploitation films from like the 60s and 70s.
mhm,
There was a type of movie called Mondo movies. And it
mhm.
wound up, because I think Mondo, like in Portuguese, means like world, because in Spanish it means mundo, right? So Mondo means like world in like Portuguese. So
Okay.
Mondo films were like anything extreme.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
anything extreme. So like there's this, if you like look up later, like Mondo films, Mondos from the 60s, it's like these crazy movies where like extreme, this kind of exploitation films. So you will get a kick
Okay.
out of it. You will
Oh
get
yeah,
a
I'm
kick
gonna
out
I'm
of it.
definitely
Yeah,
I'm gonna check that out.
yeah,
Definitely I'm check.
yeah,
Okay.
that's dope, my bro.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
man. So, what we talked about like what you have coming up. You recently released your most recent album, right? Master Speech 2.
Mm.
You're going to be dropping potentially an EP and then another album in 2023, right? Are there any visuals coming up? Because you recently just dropped,
Mm.
the Master Speech 2, but you're continually releasing visuals. Are you thinking of any new visuals? What's going on with that?
Actually got a new visual, man. It's about to come out pretty soon, probably within a week or two. It's off the Master Speech 2 joint. It's called Science, you know what I mean? So Anybody who checked the album, I had a science video coming real soon. Aside from that, we're gonna have a couple. Like I said, I'm not sure I'm gonna drop the EP yet. If I drop the EP, I might sneak a little video in there for that. I ain't sure yet, but I got a couple joints coming for the long live as well too. So I don't want to give nothing away
Yeah.
yet. You know what I mean? But I definitely got something. I'm gonna have something coming with Rem the Villain, man. My brothers up in the NY. So we got a video coming too, man, in a couple weeks. So that's gonna be coming off the Long Live the Slade album. So
I love that.
definitely some more creative stuff. More creative stuff. You're gonna love it.
That's dope, man. And you mentioned Rim the Villain. You've worked with really elite MCs, and it kind of shows how they respect you and what you're doing. Sean Links, Rim the Villain, Eddie Kaine, Pro Dillinger, and
Exactly.
you know more. The list goes on and on. Is there anybody that you have not had a chance to work with yet that it would be dope to work with them? That you know would be like, yo, if y'all want to work, let me know because I think what you're doing is dope. Let's connect and let's create.
Nah.
But you know what? You're working with a who's who.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I try to. I like a lot of cats. It's a lot. It's a lot of cats that I'm fans of. You know what I mean? That I wouldn't mind working with. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna front. Nobody just jump out crazy. See, I was gonna give you a wild answer. I was gonna give you somebody wild, like, yeah, I want to work with Smokey Robinson. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But nah, like I don't. It's a lot of dudes. I couldn't even, you know what I mean, start. I just like see. I don't. To me, it's more so about the sounds and shit rather than who's popping or who's got a big pen for the moment. I like the cat sound and shit. If I feel like, ooh, he'll sound good on this joint, that's how I do my features. Like I kind of get the beat or the sound. I'm like, ooh, you know who will sound good on this? You would, then I go at it like that. So I don't know. It just depends on what's coming along with me, what I hear. But a lot of the MCs, they fuck with me, man. Everybody's cool. Everybody's receptive of a brother. So everybody be knowing me. So when I reach out, a lot of cats, they be like, oh yeah, no doubt, let's do it, let's work. So
That's dope.
yeah, it's all good. But yeah, I can't put my finger on nobody. But at the same time, I do got a few, like I said, I got a few features in the tuck, man. I don't want to just reveal them because we ain't all the way done with the songs and shit. But I got a few big features that's coming. Though that some cats, everybody know. You know what I'm saying?
Dope, man.
Or,
That's dope. Talk to us about Mondo Mondays.
Mondo Monday. See, Mondo Monday started. I started it a couple years ago, and it was just something I was just starting to, just getting content, just try to get some traffic to the page on the Instagram. And it was just, every Monday I would just drop a freestyle over just a banging beat, you know what I mean, a classic beat, something that you might not have heard in a while. I try to pick rare beats, you know what I mean, something that you might have heard, but you ain't heard in so long, or, even you might not even heard it before, but I try to pick classic beats, and I just kick a 16, and I just did it, I want to say for like a whole year straight, every Monday. And then like I did like maybe the first couple months, it was just me freestyling just on the camera. And then after a while, I started shooting full videos to them. So I shoot a full video every week. And then, what I mean, just something new, something creative. And it was a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie. It was, it was a lot of times I was like, yeah, I'm cool. I don't feel like doing this shit this week. And, my man Paul kind of gassed me up. Paul was the man who kind of made me to really get on it like that. That's my other videographer right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was the one who kind of kicked me in my ass and got me on it. And we got through the whole year. We did the whole year. So I remember like at the very beginning, like my first video, I was just trying to get 100 views, you know what I mean? So my first video, like maybe like 80 views or something, 70 views. I'm like, oh, that was dope. And, so it got all the way up to where I dropped one and get 1,000 views just real quick, you know what I mean? Just kind of fell back. I stopped and shit. So I don't really do them no more. Every blue moon I throw one out there, you know what I'm saying? But I don't really do them no more. But every Monday is still Mondo Monday. So I always hashtag Monday. I always do my releases on a Monday. So you might see me do a lot of my my video releases I drop on Monday. I try to, you know, release the music on Monday. So Mondays is usually my
Yeah,
days for
yeah,
content, you know, just dropping shit. You know what I mean? Exclusives and shit like that.
yeah. Like where it started to what it is now is evolving. Monday's your day.
Yeah,
You gonna drop something, you got a day to drop it on.
yeah. Something basically like that. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So, you know, even if I ain't kicking a freestyle, I might just still drop something that's worthy of like, oh, I gotta check this out and share it to somebody. Like, you know
yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah.
yeah, I try to keep the Monday open for me.
That's dope, man. I like that. That's dope. And you've released, you know, when you did Master Speech, you had some dope gear that you dropped available on your Bandcamp, right? You had the
Mm-hmm.
sweatshirts. I saw you actually had some sneakers. You had some Vans that you were doing at one point in time. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You're knowledgeable about merchandise. The mask is always fresh. Nobody has what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about merchandising and any future merchandise ideas you're thinking about.
Well, you know, just merchandise, just something to, you know, just add on, man. A lot of, you know, I really used to get tired of just going out buying mad shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I create my own
Yeah,
shit,
yeah,
and one thing, like me and my homeboy, we got our own print shop down here. That's the thing we mainly do.
yeah.
So we do a lot of printing, screen printing, DTG, and all that. So, you know, I got to making other people's clothes. I'm like, you know what? So I'm gonna start designing my own
Yeah.
shit. Like, why would, you know what I mean? So how it kind of started, you know, I started designing, you know, just t-shirts, different fly shit to wear, and people start liking it. You know, I start doing stuff for other people. As far as the shoes go, that's all my man Prime Minister right there.
Mm.
Like, he's like the dope. He's the dopest, you know, most creative out of all of us. You know what I mean? He does everything from beats to rhymes to harmonizing, you know, drawing the clothes. He can paint. He can do all types of shit. So yeah, so he did the shoes. He set the shoes off. We actually got some new shoes that we about to release, man. That we coming out with. That's gonna be crazy. Like we're gonna do custom kicks for anybody who want them. You get your own custom shit, flat $100. You
Wow.
know, you gonna be person with them. They're gonna be one-on-ones. You know what I'm saying? We got to start dropping them. I got my pair already. Prime and Ren, you know what I mean? So we about to lay them out in a second. But yeah, hell yeah. When it comes to that, man, you know, we just, you know, merch is just you know, another way just to separate us and just show, you know, show our creativity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, I try to make shit that you can wear on it every day too. Man, I ain't trying to make nothing all, you know, wild and crazy, you know, with the buttons and the Velcro and the fun. I ain't trying to
Yeah.
do all that. You know, just something simple. You know what I'm saying? Got some message on it, something fly you could put on. You know what I'm saying? Step out with your lady or some shit like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
We have a comment here that says we need masks for sale too.
Oh yeah, they coming.
Yeah.
They definitely coming. I ain't decided if I want to just do regular masks or do custom made masks with different materials. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You might get a, you might get a Coogee sweater print mask, or you might get a, you know,
Ooh.
some other shit, a leopard print. You know, so I ain't really decided yet how I'm gonna come with it, but all that's coming in the future. All that's coming in the works. Believe
Yeah,
that.
there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room to grow and expand on that. That's,
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna have
that's
all that. You know what I'm saying?
dope, my brother. That's dope. Man, we talked about a lot. We talked about your musical background coming up, your your catalog, the work you did early on with Cloak and Dagger with Sid Vicious. Talked about the production team, Prime Minister, King Rem. Talked about the video work that you've done. You have a massive catalog of videos. It's dope. We talked about the new album that you're going to be dropping in 2023, a potential EP that's going to come out also, new merch potentially coming out. Can you tell people where they can find you online, where you live online, what's the best place to connect with you?
You know, best place, probably like anybody else on the gram, you know, Mondo Slade. But you could put that in Google and find me anywhere. Mondo Slade, Facebook, Gram.
Yeah,
You know, all the music is on the platforms. You know what I'm saying? If you want to check that out, you know, YouTube, Mondo Slade. You sit down, grab you some popcorn, watch a good, you know, hour and some change worth of shit.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I got plenty of time on
yeah,
there.
yeah,
I keep it simple, man. Mondo Slade,
yeah,
everything. Boom.
yeah.
You
That's
know what I'm saying?
dope.
You want to grab some merch or check out any of the cool stuff, go to sladestuff.com. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? SLADESTUFF, sladestuff.com. Boom. You know what I mean? Grab your t-shirt, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Something fly. Ain't nothing expensive. I ain't hitting people over the head. $100, nah, ain't none of that.
yeah,
Come on through. I got the, you know, got shit on there.
that's
So, you know.
dope, man. That's dope. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's perfect, my bro. My man, I want to thank you. Thank you for all the work you've done, for an amazing discography, for the uniqueness that you're bringing through your music and through your artistry to hip hop. This new era, this new golden era that we're in of hip hop, you're a critical part of that. I want to thank you. I think that the Cleveland, Atlanta, New York connect is dope. You're doing something highly original. You got a strong team of people around you. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see you succeed. We're all cheering for you. And I can't wait for that new project. Long live the Slade.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for all of this, man. Straight up. Yo, thanks for tapping in with me. Knowing all my shit, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Word.
I appreciate you. We'll do it again sometime in the future.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Peace.
All right, man. Peace.